Coach, just after watching film, what you take from the game against Golden State?
Well, I thought both teams starting the game did not play particularly well, offensively in terms of shooting the basketball. Certainly we struggled. I thought they struggled. I think Thompson was 1 for 11 from the three-point line for the game. But certainly, I think midway through that third quarter, they got hot and really extended the lead. We just didn't had a hard time scoring. I thought our defense, the first two previous meetings, we defended them, I think, at a better level than we did that night. But we didn't play well enough to win the game. Just bottom line.
Are you gonna start the same way again tonight? The way you guys have played lately, and you've played some teams. Sacramento has a really good bench. Golden State's bench played well. You're not getting a lot of bench production though. What can you do there? And do you look at when you're starting the lineup? I know you said you talk about rotations. Do you think about scoring in that second unit and that sort of thing as you make those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we've had guys out there that can score. I thought we generated pretty good shots. We just didn't shoot the ball particularly well. When we did have looks, we missed a lot of stuff earlier in the game. I thought in around the basket, we missed some open threes. That's going to happen. Like I said, we didn't play well enough to win the game collectively as a group, the whole team. And we did not score enough against them to give ourselves a chance. Generally, if you have an off shooting night, you hope your defense can kind of hold before to give you an opportunity late. But we just didn't defend well enough, nor score well enough. Even if we would have played phenomenal defense. So again, I think the biggest thing for our second unit is just us continuing to generate good shots, and we're going to have to live with the result. I mean, there's not a player I know that every time he releases the ball doesn't want it to go in. But it's out of your control. What we got to try to do is generate good ones. I thought Jeremy had some opportunities in the game to have a really big game. He missed some stuff around the basket, a couple opportunities, the ball got taken from him. Again, I think trying to find Patrick, maybe some looks, would help. I thought Brandon played pretty well. I think he was 4 for 5 from the field. But, I think those bench guys, as long as they're moving the ball and trying to generate good shots, we're going to live with that.
Billy, Carmelo, last few years, has been around 42-43% on catch and shoot three-pointers. This year, he's 37 at this point. Have you seen a reason for a drop that significant?
No, I mean, certainly he's playing differently. He's had to play differently for our team, so it's been an adjustment for him. But the more, I think we've done a good job, to be honest, the last couple games, getting him a high number of those kind of shots. And I think he got 12 off against Sacramento, maybe 9, I think, against Golden State. So, he's getting them up, and I feel good about when he shoots those shots. So, I don't know the difference by that margin, what the biggest reason is, but I do feel really, really good when he's in position to shoot threes.
Is there any concern that at this point that his usage is the lowest of his career right now, and the efficiency is down near the bottom as well? Is that combination, is that a concern at any point at this point in the year?
In terms of, like, what do you mean by that?
Just being able to get his efficiency up while maintaining.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, he's a proven scorer for a long period of time. I got a lot of confidence, in Carmelo. I think it's been well documented that a lot of this has been an adjustment for him. So this is the first time he's gone through this. And I said before, I give him a lot of credit for his willingness and openness to want to do some different things to help our team. I think the more and more he gets comfortable, which I think he's much more comfortable now than he was probably back in November and December. Again, I feel comfortable with his efficiency. He's a proven scorer, so I really don't worry about that too much.
The bottom 8 teams in the league lost. I think it's 44 in a row.
You lost me there.
The bottom 4 teams in the league.
Bottom 4, okay.
I mean, the bottom 8. I'm sorry, the bottom 8 teams.
Okay, these are the bottom 44. I was trying to figure that out.
The bottom 8 have lost 44 in a row.
Okay.
To whatever degree any franchise is tanking, in your 3 years in the league, when you've seen that occur, what does that look like? Is that rotations? Is that effort? Is that?
Well, I mean, I've never, all the games that I've coached have walked off the floor and said, this team didn't try. I think what happens a lot of times maybe is if a team is out of the playoffs, they maybe provide some opportunity for some younger players to get significant playing time if they're not going to make a run, just to help those guys with their growth and development, and maybe some of the veteran guys don't quite play as many minutes. You see that, but I would say those younger guys are eager for the opportunity, and they go out there and they play extremely hard.
Besides them getting out in the transition, what maybe worries you the most about this Magic team tonight that you'll have to deal with?
Well, they're a good offensive team. You know, they've got a lot of different weapons and a lot of different pieces. Obviously, Vucevic is a really a skilled big man who shoots threes and posts up and can play with his back to the basket and face up. You know, I think Gordon's improvement from behind the three-point line has really opened up things for him as an offensive player to playing to his strengths around the basket because he shot the ball much better this season. You know, I think Fournier, you know, running him off screens and his ability to put the ball on the floor and shoot. You know, had DJ here, you know, he's a really good point guard. So, you know, they're a very good offensive team that, you know, really everybody on the floor can generate offense. So we'll have to defend them at a high level.
Anybody else?
Thank you.